This is our final video on Chapter 3, the theory of consumer behavior, and we are going to walk through the concept of a budget constraint. While it's all well and good to understand the indifference curves and recognize that we get satisfaction from our consumption of products, we have to also recognize that whether we end up receiving 700 units of satisfaction or 200 units of satisfaction is going to be based on our scarcity of resources. Or to put another way, how many tacos and hamburgers can you afford? So we have to take a look at our budget constraint. And it gets back into the idea, if we had a weekly budget for fast food, how much can we afford? Simply thinking about the price of the hamburgers and the price of the tacos, that will help us determine what our utility could be just based on what our overall budget is. To create a budget constraint or a budget line, there are three pieces of information that we have to know. The most important piece of information is probably number one. How much money do you have to spend? What actually is your budget? After that, understanding what's the price of good one, in this case the hamburgers, versus the price of good two, the tacos. That will allow us and enable us to create our budget lines. Budget lines are quite simple to develop. Essentially, if you had $5 to spend on tacos, and you only purchased tacos and no hamburgers at all, we would be able to determine that we could buy 10 tacos with our $5 if they're priced at 50 cents each. So step one is take a look at one resource, tacos, put all of your money into tacos and determine how many you can purchase. Step two is do the exact same thing and put all of your money in hamburgers. And don't put any money in tacos and determine how many hamburgers can you purchase for your budget constraint. So we purchase exclusively one commodity and then purchase exclusively the other commodity, and that will allow us to create our budget line. As you can see, if we put all of our money into tacos and 0 hamburgers, we would purchase 10 tacos. And conversely, if we put all of our money in hamburgers and purchased 0 tacos, then you can see we would get the 2 dots on the line, and all you have to do to create your budget line is simply draw the 2 dots together, and voila, you have a budget line. So budget lines are not complicated to make. You have to just zero out your items and draw the line. Now, recognize that commodities can change in price. Let's just say the price of tacos decreased from 50 cents to 25 cents. If you had to create a new budget line, it's still quite easy. If you have $5 to spend, we would simply take our $5, divide it by 0.25, and understand that all of a sudden we can now purchase 20 tacos. Since the price in hamburgers didn't change at $1.25, we can still afford 4 of them, and we would have a new budget line. If the taco price changed, and say it went up to $1 per taco, well, the process is exactly the same. We'd go ahead and invest all of our money into tacos. And at $1 each, we could spend our $5 and buy 5 tacos. The price of hamburgers did not change, so we have the same amount of hamburgers, and you can see we get a different budget line. The same thing would happen on the hamburger side. If the price of hamburgers goes up, it would make sense if the price doubled, we would end up buying half as many hamburgers on the budget line. And if the price was decreased in half, we'd end up being able to purchase more. So the budget line can move with either a change in price of hamburgers and a change in price for tacos. The only other way that budget lines can move is when your income changes or both product prices change. So, as an example, let's just say your income increased from $5 to $10. Now, all of a sudden, you have $10 to invest every single week in your food. Well, at $10, even if the tacos are 50 cents, it would change how many tacos you could buy, and it would change how many hamburgers you could buy, and you would see there would be a change in your budget line. If bad stuff happened and you got your hours cut at work and you didn't have as much money, then you would see if it went down to $2.50, that would allow us to, again, we put all of our monies into tacos and get 5, or put all of our monies into hamburgers and get 2, and simply draw a new budget line. This example of the budget line begins to go ahead and communicate the financial aspect of utility. In the next chapter, we're going to go ahead and tie the indifference curve or the ISO utility curve together with the budget constraint, the budget line, and show how they're used in conjunction with each other.